ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we are doing the last session of the Journey of Self-Discovery course called the Practical Application of Gita in our life. So in yesterday's session we saw this topic of karma, why do bad things happen to good people. So basically in yesterday's session we saw a little about Prakriti, why we come to this world, because we want to be independently, separately we want to enjoy without God, we come to this world. We saw this world is compared to like a prison house where we go through our own rectification, our own purification, so that we slowly realize that we are supposed to be back in our original home, the spiritual world. We also saw a little about time, Kal, and then we discussed about karma, that this life is not the all in all. When it comes to the topic of karma, why do bad things happen to good people? The reason people ask this question is, they feel that in this life I've done a lot of good things, why is bad happening to me? But this life is not all in all. This is just one part of the entire journey that the Atma goes through different bodies, through different species. So we really don't know what we have done in the past, how many reactions are in store for us. And then we ended the session discussing how this human form of life is like a train junction. From this point, we can choose where we want to go. That's where we ended yesterday. So today we are doing the last session, but a very important session. This session is literally the essence of the Journey of Self-Discovery course. We often mention this point that this Journey of Self-Discovery course is like the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. And this session, day 6, is the essence of this full course. So if you try to understand this session and try to apply this wisdom in our daily life, then there can be a lot of changes. So why is practical application important? Because Bhagavad Gita is just not a theoretical book. Bhagavad Gita is not to be understood. It's not an exam to pass that I've got full marks in my Gita exam. That's wonderful. We should try to understand also. But more important is try to live by it. Try to follow it in our life. Srila Prabhupada would say, philosophy without practical application is useless. You have the best of philosophy, but you don't apply it in your life, there is no point. So today's session is very important. How do we apply all these teachings in our day-to-day life? So a quick summary of what we have been discussing. We discussed that who am I? I am not the body, but I am a spirit soul entrapped in the temporary material body. Okay? This was who am I session. Where do I come from? I, the spirit soul, was originally with God, and we all came from the spiritual world, a place where there is no birth, no old age, no disease, no death. This is our true home. So we all belong to the spiritual world, enjoying with God, serving God. So we all belong there. From there we have come to the material world. Where am I now? I am now in this material world called Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, a place full of misery and temporariness. Why am I here in this material world? Because I chose to be independent of God. So God didn't send us here, we chose to come here, which is like a prison house, sort of for our own rectification, for our own realization. Why do I get different bodies? Desires create actions. Actions give rise to reactions. And different reactions give rise to different kinds of bodies, 84 lakh in total. So depending on what action you have done, ultimately the action also begins with desire. So everything begins with a desire. So desire leads to action, action leads to reaction, and then we get different types of bodies. How long this will go on? Millions of lives we have lived, millions of good and bad we have done. So probably millions of reactions are in store for us. So what should I do now? So we discussed this point that human life is like a train journey, train junction. Now we can decide what a future course should be. Do we want to become a demigod, go to heaven? Do you want to come back as a human being? Do you want to become an animal? Do you want to go back to the spiritual world? What we want, we can choose. Right? So we have a lot of options to choose from this human form of life. Human form of life is the most precious gift. What is the most precious gift? Human form of life. Because once you miss this opportunity, you don't know how long it will take for you to get this human form. Once you miss this bus, how many lifetimes you will have to wait? No guarantee. People think that not this life, the next life, anyway I'm going to become a human being. No guarantee you will become a human being. Not sure. Right? So it's a very rare opportunity. Once you miss it, you really don't know when it's going to come again. So now, of all these options, to become a demigod in the next life, to become a human being, to become animal, to go back home, back to God, which is the best option? Back to the spiritual world. What is the problem in becoming a demigod in the heavens? Still temporary. You'll have to come back. Lord Krishna tells in the Gita, Shine punya martya lokam vishanti. You need punya to go to Swarga. Shine punya. Once that punya is over, you're pushed down. Right? Like you may go to a foreign country, you can stay there as long as you have money. Once you are bankrupt, they'll push you off. Right? So similarly in heaven, you need punya. As soon as that punya is over, you are pushed down. It's a temporary place. So intelligence is to go back to the spiritual world. We discussed this now. Which jail is better? A class, B class, C class? No jail. Good. You have understood essence. So now, what we are discussing in today's class is how to go back home, back to Godhead. How to go. Why to go we have discussed, right? How to go back home, back to Godhead. So the process of acting in such a way that you will have no further reactions and all your past reactions will be squared off is called akarma. See, it's simple. To go to the spiritual world, your karma account should be zero. That's the idea. Punya also should be zero, pap also should be zero. Why? Because if your punya is high, then you'll have to take birth in some heaven somewhere to exhaust that punya. If your pap is high, you'll have to suffer. Either way, it's a problem. Right? Like, if you are born as a king or a simple farmer, either way suffering, no. Right? So we may think that, what if I become the Prime Minister of India? But Prime Minister of India is also a very stressful role. So it's a problem everywhere. So the best way is to do a karma. We discussed 3 types of karma, right? Karma, vikarma, akarma. So now we're going to discuss akarma. What does akarma mean? Akarma means 2 things. That karma that doesn't give you any reaction, not only that, by doing akarma, all our past reactions will be squared off, and then we will go back to the spiritual world. What is akarma? Akarma is called neutral activities. What does neutral activities mean? I'll give you a simple example. There may be a soldier who may go to a fight on the border, right? And he may kill terrorists, like that. And he may be awarded Paramveer Chakra, like that. He is honored for his bravery and courage. Now, if that same soldier comes back to his house and with his gun, the neighboring child is making too much noise, so he takes his AK-47 and shoots that boy. Finished. Becomes silent. He kills him. What do you think will happen to that soldier? If the soldier kills a child in this neighboring place, what will happen to the soldier? He will be hanged. Now if the soldier says, some time ago I killed, you all gave me an award. Now also I killed, now you all are punishing me. Activity is the same, no? There also he killed, now also he killed. Why is there that killing that he did in the border, he is getting award for that, for this he is getting punished? What is the difference? What is the difference? Situation, yeah.
Is that good for
Exactly. Exactly. So the first time he killed, he was killing on behalf of the government. Getting it? He was killing because the government told him, do your duty, he did it. Now second time he is killing on his own, whimsically. So he is caught. Understanding the point? When the soldier works for the government absolves everything. When the soldier acts on his own, he'll have to pay the price. This exactly is akarma. What does akarma mean? Acting for the interest of God by following His authority and not for personal satisfaction. Just like the soldier is fighting for the government, not for his satisfaction. Therefore, that killing is permissible, that is allowed. So similarly, what is akarma? Any activity when you do for the interest of God. And how do you know what is the interest of God? By following His authority. And where is His authority mentioned? In the scriptures. So someone who acts based on the Shastra, based on Gita, Bhagavatam, not for his own satisfaction but for the satisfaction of God, such activity is called akarma. Got it? In vikarma or karma, in good activity, bad activity, in both you are doing it for yourself. In good you are doing good for you, in bad you are doing bad for you. The interest is you, so you are caught. In akarma, when you act for God, on behalf of God, then that is called akarma. For this activity, there is no reaction at all, and all your past reactions are completely vanquished. This akarma, another term for akarma is yoga. Akarma, yoga are interchangeable terms. Both mean the same. What does yoga mean? Generally, when we hear the word yoga, what comes to our mind? Asanas. Probably you will imagine the picture of Ramdev Baba will come when you hear the word yoga. There on top is BKS Iyengar. You have heard of BKS Iyengar? Very respectable yoga teacher. He is doing his yoga. And a guy down is also doing yoga. He's drunk, probably somewhere in Goa. He's also drunk. He's trying to imitate BKS Iyengar. So generally, when we hear the word yoga, what comes to our mind is asana, pranayam, things like that. But that is not the essence of yoga. Now, one time, there was one guy who went to an electronic shop and he told him, I want to buy this television. The salesman, he told him, we don't sell television to fools. So this fellow got very angry. What do you mean I look like a fool? So he went home and he changed his entire makeup. He came back again and he asked this salesman, I want to buy this television. The salesman told him, we don't sell television to fools. So this fellow thought, how did he recognize me? He went again, changed himself and came and asked him, I want to buy this television. The salesman said the same thing. We don't sell television to fools. This fellow asked him, how did you recognize me? I came in 3 different, attires. So this fellow said, this is not a television, this is a washing machine. Therefore, I'm telling you, we don't sell television to fools. So the problem is, before you know what is yoga, you should also know what is not yoga. So yoga basically means to join. Yoga comes from the word yuj. Yuj means to join or to connect. In day 1, we discussed this point that the reason we are suffering in this world is because we are disconnected from God. So all the scriptures speak about the principle of yoga. That means you try to connect yourself back to God. That is the idea of yoga. Why connect? Simple example. Imagine a finger is cut from your body. Due to some accident, a finger is cut. A cut finger, does it have any value? It has no value. As long as the finger is connected to the body, it has value. As soon as it is disconnected, it has no value. I'll give you another example. You'll be able to connect to this example. How many of you all love your hair? Everyone. We don't have, so no, question doesn't apply to us. So everyone loves their hair, isn't it? You spend so much time in front of the mirror, looking at the hair, combing hair, so many different styles. Gone were the days when we would go to a barber like 30 rupees, 40 rupees, finish it off. Now I don't know how much even a barber charges for all the makeup and everything. So we all love our hair, isn't it? Given, na? Everybody agrees with this. But imagine you're eating food. In your dal, you find your hair. How is it? Will you like it? Disgusting. You will probably throw the dal or you don't know what you will do, right? Now, it is your hair only. You love your hair, you are watching so much in the mirror. Now that same hair is there in your dal, why does your face turn? The reason is because as long as the hair is connected to the body, the hair has value. As soon as it is disconnected, it is useless. Completely useless. Similarly, why to connect? As long as we are connected to God, our life will have value, meaning, purpose. As soon as we are disconnected, we will feel lost, depressed, hopeless. So therefore, connection is important. Like in today's world, you may have your mobile, but if there is no internet signal, how do you feel? Helpless, right? If there's no Wi-Fi signal, you feel completely helpless. Similarly for us, that connection to God is like that Wi-Fi signal. It's like the life signal, life-saving signal for all of us. Like we often give this example, like a fish. For the fish to be happy, the fish has to be connected to water. If the fish is disconnected from water, the fish can never be happy. Simple. The formula for happiness for the fish is very simple. It needs water. Similarly, as long as we are connected to God through the process of yoga, we will experience satisfaction, we will experience happiness, joy, love, peace. But as soon as that disconnection is there, all the negative emotions will creep in. Therefore, we have to connect. So yoga basically means to connect, join, yuj. Yoga is not meant for shapely body. People think that yoga is meant to keep the body fit. Those may be the side effects, side benefits of yoga. That is not the main purpose of yoga. The main purpose of yoga is to connect. So yoga is just not meant for a shapely body. It is not even meant for good health. By practicing asana, pranayam, you can definitely do that. Even we do that. That's for good health. But we understand that however best your health is, the body is one time going to fall apart. So yoga is just not meant for good health, for a shapely body. It is not even meant for increased lifespan. Someone may have a long life, But if the life has no purpose, what is the point of a long life? Better a short life, but a meaningful and a purposeful life. And yoga is not meant for mystic powers. One time, there was one yogi who went to the Himalayas. For years and years, he did tapasya. He acquired a siddhi. You know what siddhi he had? He could walk on water. So he came back to his village. Now, if you have something, what do you want to do? You want to show it off, na? Like you have bought a new watch. Where is the fun in that watch? Until you wear it and 10 people ask you, Baba, the watch looks new. Till then there is no fun. You have something, you want to show it off also. So this fellow got siddhi. He came to his village to show off his siddhi. So he called all the villagers and he just walked on water. There was one boy who told him, what you have learnt is worth 50 paisa. This fellow was like angry. What do you mean? Have spent like years and years in the Himalayas to walk on water. This boy told him, simple, you are walking on water. I can pay 50 paisa to this boatman and he can take me across. Why have you wasted so much time of yours? Only for this. So the purpose of yoga is not to get some mystic powers, to walk on water, to do this, to do that. The purpose of yoga is to connect to God. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna speaks about 4 types of yoga. Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Dhyana yoga and Bhakti yoga. Karma yoga basically means connecting the senses to the Lord. Connecting your activities to God. Dovetailing your activities to God. Yat karoshi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi dadasi, yad tapasyasya kaunteya, tat kurushya madarpanam. Lord Krishna says, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you do it as an offering to me. Jnana yoga means connecting the mind to the Lord. You study scriptures, try to acquire a lot of knowledge. Dhyana yoga, you control the mind through intelligence. You connect your intelligence to God. Bhakti yoga means ultimately, it means connecting the mind, senses, intelligence, and most importantly, surrendering your soul to that Supreme Lord is called the process of Bhakti yoga. So these are the 4 yogas that Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. Karma, Jnana, Dhyan and Bhakti. But Lord Krishna, time and again, if you study Bhagavad Gita properly, time and again Lord Krishna stresses the point that of all these 4 yogas, Bhakti yoga is the most practical yoga which one can do anywhere, everywhere, can be done by anyone. You see, if someone has to do Dhyan yoga, the idea of Dhyan yoga that Lord Krishna explains is that first you have to leave your house and go to the forest. According to a proper Dhyan yoga process, you cannot do Dhyan yoga sitting at home. You have to go to the process. You have to go to the forest. For Jnana yoga, you have to study Sanskrit. You have to be a very expert in all the Shastras. You have to know Nyaya, Vyakaran and all these things. But all this is very difficult for people of Kali Yuga. Very, very difficult. Who can go to the forest? Who has time to study Sanskrit and do all this? For most of the other yogas, Gyan and Dhyan, you have to be a renunciate. You can't even be a householder. You have to renounce and go. Then only the process of yoga starts. Being at home, you can't do. But Bhakti yoga is the most practical. Anyone and everyone can do it. All of you all have heard the story of Prahlad Maharaj. How many of you all saw that latest movie, Mahavatar Narsimha? If you have not seen, please go and see. It's still in the theatres. So, Mahavatar Narsimha, the story of Prahlad. When did Prahlad start doing bhakti? Anyone knows? When he was in the womb of his mother. Now my question to you. In the womb of a mother, can the child do Dhyan yoga, Jnana yoga, Ashtanga yoga? Can the child learn Ramdev Baba Asan Pranayam in the womb? Not possible. But bhakti can start even in the womb of a mother. When the mother sits and reads Gita, hears shlokas, participates in spiritual programs, those bhakti vibrations enter into the child. Those sanskars enter into the child also. So bhakti yoga can be done even in the womb. And you have the example of Parikshit Maharaj. I have been speaking about Parikshit Maharaj, right? Parikshit Maharaj, he heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadev Goswami. So Parikshit, he was cursed that he would die in 7 days. Now tell me, which is the yoga that you can perfect in 7 days? Ashtanga Yoga. To perfect asana, pranayam, 7 days is also less. To become a perfect in asana, pranayam, and pranayam asana is just 2 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. There are many limbs. So which is the yoga that you can do in 7 days? You have 7 days left in your life. Which yoga can you do? Can you learn all the Sanskrit, Nyaya, Vyakaran, Gyan Yoga? Very difficult. But Parikshit practiced Bhakti Yoga sincerely, seriously for 7 days and went back to the spiritual world. So we say Bhakti Yoga can be done from the womb till the tomb. Anywhere. Right? If you are a child in the womb or a small child, we have example of Dhruva Maharaj. You have heard the story of Dhruva? Dhruva performed Bhakti when he was 5 years old. So you have all this example from small children to an adult to someone who's about to die. All these people could practice Bhakti Yoga because Bhakti Yoga is the most practical, very practical yoga that anyone can do. Like Windows, Microsoft Windows, Bill Gates, the one who's made it. So now if you want to know which version of Windows is the best, what is the best way? Go and ask Bill Gates, because he's the one who's made all this, right? So he will tell you which version is the best. Similarly, if you want to know which yoga is the best, whether Dhyan Yoga is best, Gyan Yoga is best, Ashtanga Yoga is best, Bhakti Yoga is best, simple, find out the opinion of Krishna. Because Krishna's one name is Yogeshwara. Krishna is the master of all yogas, right? Krishna is the one who has given all these yoga shastras. So Krishna's opinion is the best. And Lord Krishna, as I told you, time and again in the Gita, Lord Krishna explains of all yogis, of all other yogas, Bhakti Yoga is the best and the highest. This is the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the last verse, 47th verse. The 6th chapter of Gita is interestingly named as Dhyan Yoga. In the entire 6th chapter, Lord Krishna explains Dhyan Yoga to Arjuna. How one should go to the forest, meditate like this and all that. But if you see the conclusion of Dhyan Yoga chapter, the chapter is called Dhyan Yoga. But in conclusion, Lord Krishna says this, Yoginam api sarvesham matgaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam samayukta tamomata. So Lord Krishna says, of all the yogis, Yoginam api sarvesham, of all the yogis, who is the highest? Matgati antaratmana, one who thinks of me continuously. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam, one who worships me, one who does bhajan to me with great faith, he is considered the highest. Same yukta tamo mataha. This is my opinion. So Lord Krishna's opinion is the highest. Of all the yogis, the bhakta or the one who is practicing Bhakti Yoga is actually the highest. So Lord Krishna, why does he choose Arjuna to be a recipient of Bhagavad Gita? Lord Krishna could have given knowledge to so many people. Because Arjuna was a devotee of Krishna. So Lord Krishna reveals this message of Gita, the most confidential message. The Gita has total 18 chapters. Right? Total 18 chapters. We'll be coming to this. Right? The Gita has total 18 chapters. The way the 18 chapters are divided is 6, 6, 6. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. So the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna principally talks about karma. Lot of bhakti element also, but majorly you can say karma. The last 6 chapters of Gita, Lord Krishna speaks about jnana. But the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna exclusively devotes to the topic of bhakti. Now, we say that Bhagavad Gita is like a sandwich. Like you have sandwiches, right? You have different kinds of sandwiches. Veg sandwich, different kinds of sandwiches. Cheese sandwich, whatever. How does a sandwich get its name? Top and down is bread only, that doesn't change. The sandwich gets its name based on what is there in between. So what is there in between is actually the most important part, right? So similarly, Bhagavad Gita is like a sandwich, 666. In between is the essence. In that in between chapters, there is the 12th chapter where Lord Krishna speaks about Bhakti Yoga. There is a 9th chapter called the most confidential knowledge. Lord Krishna again speaks about Bhakti Yoga. So the middle 6 chapters is most important. Like if all of you all have some gold and treasure in your house, where will you keep it? Will you keep it in the living room or in the room inside? Sure? We'll keep it in the most innermost room. Na? So similarly, Lord Krishna has kept the treasure of Bhakti Yoga in between the Bhagavad Gita. The middle 6 chapters which are the most important. In the Bhagavad Gita, I told you that the one way that you divide is 666. The other way you divide is 9 plus 9. 9 first chapters, next 9 chapters. So if you find the exact middle verse of Bhagavad Gita, that is the 9th chapter, last verse, which is like exact between 9th and 10th. In that verse, Lord Krishna says, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. So this is like the exact middle verse. What is Lord Krishna saying? Manmana, think of me. Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam Namaskuru, offer obeisance to me. And this, so what is Lord Krishna speaking about? Bhakti Yoga. And this is the only verse in Gita that comes twice. Again, towards the end of the 18th chapter, Lord Krishna speaks the same verse. So time and again, Lord Krishna is stressing the point of Bhakti Yoga. There is a verse in Gita, Lord Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanava Ma Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. After many lifetimes, a jnani who accumulates knowledge after many lifetimes finally comes to the conclusion that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that Krishna is everything. Such a person is the most intelligent. Mahatma Sudurlabha, such a Mahatma is very rare. So Bhagavad Gita is like a sandwich, and Lord Krishna has protected the Bhakti chapters very safely, because this is what is most dear to Krishna's heart. Just like wealth and gold in our house is most dear to us, for Lord Krishna it's Bhakti chapters, so he's protected it very safely. So all other yogas are like indirect process. I explained to you 4 yogas, right? Karma, Jnana, Dhyan, Bhakti. We call this the yoga ladder. What does yoga ladder mean? That means if reaching God is like climbing 100 floors. If you have to climb 100 floors on the spiritual life to reach God, right, to see Him face to face, Karma Yoga will take you to 25 floors. That's all. Karma Yoga cannot take you beyond. After that, you will have to shift to Jnana Yoga, right? So in Karma Yoga, we don't have too much time to discuss, but in Karma Yoga also there are 2 parts. Sakam Karma, Nishkam Karma, where you attach to result, detach from result. When you gradually do Nishkam Karma, Gyan develops. You enter above the 25th floor. Gyan Yoga will take you to the 50th floor. It cannot take you beyond. After that, you will have to shift to becoming a Dhyan Yogi. And Dhyan Yoga will take you to the 75th floor. After that, to reach God, you have to take to Bhakti Yoga. Every Karma Yogi, every Dhyan Yogi, every Jnana Yogi ultimately will have to take to Bhakti. Only then he can reach God. So we call this the indirect process. What is the indirect process? That gradually you start with Karma Yoga, Sakam Karma, Nishkam Karma, then you enter into Gyan, then you enter into Dhyan, and finally Bhakti. Now if you have to finally enter into Bhakti, why not enter into Bhakti before only? So therefore, there is a direct process. You know what is the direct process? Direct process is the lift. There are 2 ways to climb 100 floors. One is you climb by steps. Other is what? Take lift. How many of you all took lift now? Most people, na? Yes. So you are following Bhakti Yoga. Right? 4th floor you can still walk. 100 floors who can walk? Right? So simple direct process is Bhakti Yoga. In Kali Yuga, the biggest problem in Kali Yuga, is what? No time. People don't have time. People want everything quick, right? So all other processes will take you a lot of time. You will reach God, definitely. But it is like Mumbai slow train. It will stop at every station and go. But Bhakti Yoga is like an express train, non-stop fast train. It will take you directly to the spiritual world. So intelligence is, especially in Kali Yuga, when time is limited. I gave you the example of Parikshit. He had 7 days left, right? So similarly in our life, our time is very limited. Parikshit had 7 days left. How many days we have left? It's only God knows. No one else knows. We really don't know how much time we have left. So time is very short. We have to complete this process. The easiest process and the direct process is Bhakti Yoga. Is it clear till here? So Bhakti Yoga is very, very easy to practice. Anyone and everyone can do it. One time, this is a sculpture made by Michelangelo. I've heard of Michelangelo. Is like a very famous sculptor. So someone asked Michelangelo, how do you make this amazing statues, out of stone? Michelangelo said, very simple. Those images are already there in stone. I just chisel out the unwanted things and those images come out. He said, I don't make it. It's already there. I just remove the unwanted stone and what is there comes out. So similarly, Bhakti Yoga means trying to love God. That love for God is there in everyone's heart. But right now it is covered. Covered with what? All lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, all other things are covering it. What is the process of Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga is chiseling out unwanted things so that what is your original love shines forth. Just like a child who learns to walk. Bachcha chalne ko seekhta hai. How does he learn to walk? Because the capacity to walk is already there in the child. He'll have to just revive that capacity. It's not that he is getting that capacity is already there. So the capacity to do bhakti is there in everyone. We just need the right environment, the right encouragement to do it. I'll give you another example. A magnet may pull iron filings. It may just pull iron filings. But if the iron filings have rust, the magnet will not be able to pull it. Right? What do you have to do for that iron filing to get pulled to that magnet? Take a salt paper, remove that rust, and immediately it will get pulled to that magnet. Similarly, God, Krishna is like that magnet. As I told you, Krishna means all attractive. Krishna can attract our minds like no one. But at this point, why we are not getting attracted to Krishna? Why we are getting attracted to so many things and not to Krishna? Because our mind and heart and consciousness is filled with rust. All the dust, unwanted things, which is called anarthas in Sanskrit. Lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, illusion is covering it. So what is the process of Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga process is, it is like a salt paper. We are removing all these anarthas. And as these anarthas slowly go away, we will experience that natural attraction to Krishna. The natural pull to Bhakti will come forth naturally. Right? Just like we give another example. Water may fall from the sky, the rainwater, very, very pure. But it comes on the ground, it becomes dirty. You put that water through a filtration process, the original purity is regained. So similarly, we are all very pure. We are all naturally devotees of God. That's our constitutional position as Atma. But being in this world for many, many lifetimes, there is too many contaminations that has come. Bhakti Yoga is like a filtration process. This center is like a filtration process. When we come here, regularly hear satsangs, read Gita, Bhagavad, associate with devotees, the heart is getting purified and we will gain our original purity. So till now we discussed how Bhakti Yoga is the highest yoga, is the easiest, most practical way to connect with God, especially in Kali Yuga. So now there are certain misconceptions people have about Bhakti Yoga. So some people think that I cannot do Bhakti Yoga because I'm not a full-time brahmachari, I'm not a monk. Someone may say, Prabhuji, you can speak all this, you have nothing else to do. Right? You can speak Bhakti, but I am a practical guy. I have like a job to do, I have a family, I have studies, I have so many things. Not practical for me, I can't do it. So some people think that Bhakti Yoga is not practical because I have to just quit family and become a monk. The answer is, was Arjuna a monk? Whom did Lord Krishna speak Bhagavad Gita to? Arjuna. Was Arjuna a brahmachari, sannyasi? Arjuna was a grahastha. He had a couple of wives. He had 3-4 wives Arjuna had. And not only that, he was a very responsible person. So why did Lord Krishna chose Arjuna for being the recipient of Bhagavad Gita? Because Lord Krishna knew in future people will say this. Lord Krishna could have spoken Bhagavad Gita to Narad also, to some other sannyasi also. But Lord Krishna chose Arjuna because Lord Krishna wanted to give this message that if Arjuna being a grahastha could practice Bhakti Yoga, we also can do it. We also can do it. So it's very important to understand that Bhakti Yoga can be practiced by anyone and everyone. In ISKCON, 99.99% of devotees are all grahasthas. Very few percentages like us, right? Rare species. Most are all grahasthas only. And all of them managing their family, managing their duties, managing everything, they are able to practice Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga can be practiced whatever you are doing. Whatever your occupation, you don't have to change that. You have to just change your consciousness. This is the first misconception. Second misconception people have is, I don't have time to practice Bhakti Yoga. As I told you, in Kali Yuga, the biggest problem is no time. Just think about it. 20, 30 years ago, people would wash their clothes. There was no washing machine, right? 20, 30 years ago, to do one phone call, you had to go to a telephone booth. Internet, you have to go to some internet cafe, right? And most people didn't have bikes, you have to walk down. Right? Now, we have washing machines to wash clothes. It's there in anyone's house. It's like a common thing. You have washing machine to wash clothes. You step out, there's a car, you drive, you hardly walk. No one walks at all, right? All facilities, you have mobile, everything. All facilities at our disposal. And why are these facilities made? Why these facilities were created? So that it could save time. Isn't it? That's the whole idea, no? Instead of washing clothes 1 hour, you put it in the washing machine, it's done. But the irony is, even with all the facilities, people don't have time. And especially when it comes to satsangs. They have time for everything else. Every day, 1 hour, 2 hours, Facebook, Instagram, everything will happen. Everything will happen. But for satsang, no time. Time for everyone else rather than God. You have too many online friends, but God, Krishna, who is a real friend, no time for him. Again, the answer is, Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Where did Lord Krishna speak Bhagavad Gita? On the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And if you study the setting of the scene of Bhagavad Gita, conch shells were blown on both sides. War was about to happen, blown, signal given. In that tense situation, in that emergency situation, Arjuna removed time to hear Bhagavad Gita. Anyone here who is as busy as Arjuna, who has like such an important role that your call is going to decide the fate of the entire world? What that war was not a family war. That war was going to decide the fate of the entire world. That was how responsible Arjuna's post was. Still Arjuna removed time to hear Bhagavad Gita. So we all have time. The only question is, are we convinced about the importance? However busy we are, we have time to eat 3 times a day, yes or no? Yes. However busy we are, 6 hours, 5 hours a day, we sleep, right? That all happens. But only when it comes to spiritual life, it is put the last thing. If everything happens and there is time, then Krishna will think about you. That's our problem. We have not prioritized spiritual life. So it's not about time, it's about prioritizing it. Once you know something is important, you will remove time for it. Because that is what is going to help you. Just like food is important, sleep is important, this is also very, very important. Very, very crucial. The third misconception people have is they feel that spirituality is a retirement program. Prabhuji, why do I have to hear Bhagavad Gita and practice bhakti now? When I become old, we will see. Now is the time to enjoy, eat, drink, be merry, be in the Goa mood, right? When I get old, we will take up the spiritual life. But the answer is, what is the definition of old age? How will you define old age? How do you define old age? Inability to do everything. Sick. Okay. 65 plus is old age. Okay. I have a case study for you. Huh? Retirement from job is old age. ठीक है. Okay. If there is a 70-year-old man who is supposed to live for 80 years, is he old? Or there's a 25-year-old boy who is destined to die tomorrow. Who's old? That's the point. So what is definition of old age? Proximity to death. That is how old you are. When is death going to strike you? And as I told you, we really don't know when that is going to happen. So what it means? We are already old enough. When your birthday comes, what do you say? 16 year, 15 year, 20 year, old. Does anyone say young? No one says young. Old. 2 year also old. 3 year also old only. We are all old only, right? We are already, it's too late. It's already too late. In the Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj, we are speaking about Prahlad. Prahlad Maharaj is teaching to his friends. He tells them, Kaumaram achare pragyo, dharmo bhagavataniya. When you are a small child of 5 years old, bhakti should start. Here, anyone who is 5 years? No one is 5 years. That means you are already old to practice bhakti. Srila Prabhupada, when Srila Prabhupada started ISKCON, there will be like young American boys and girls who came to join him. So someone asked Prabhupada, what are young people doing with you? Bhakti is for old people. Prabhupada asked them, in college, do you find old people or young people? College, school, old people go or young people go? Young people go. Why? Because Prabhupada said, because youth is a time to learn. Bhakti, there are a lot of things to learn. Right? I mean, if someone is old, then it's already late. But the idea is, we can't wait for that old age to come to take to bhakti, because there are so many things to learn in this process. There are so many things to learn and so many things to unlearn. So the earlier you come, the better it is. The point is, we are already late. We have to start right away, because we really don't know how much time is there at our disposal. So spirituality is not a retirement program. It is something to be done now. At whatever phase of life we are, young, old, middle, whatever we are supposed to start it right now. No postponing. The fourth misconception people have is, they think that bhakti means emotion or a sentiment. We discussed a little about this yesterday also. Bhakti, definitely there is an emotion, a sentiment part to it. But bhakti is more than that. Bhakti, generally the word bhakti, it's a Sanskrit word. How do you translate it in English? Devotion. But Srila Prabhupada was probably the only Acharya who translated bhakti as devotional service. So if you have bhakti, you will do seva. You will serve God. See, anyone can say, I have bhakti. You tell a lot of people, chant Hare Krishna, come to programs. They will say, na, bhakti now, hriday mein bahut hai. I have a lot of love for Krishna in your heart. In my heart, they will say that. But if you have love, you will do service. Simple. Like if someone tells you, right, someone whom you love and he loves you, they tell you that I'm feeling very thirsty. please get some water for me. And you tell that person, I love you a lot. That fellow will tell you, Baba, I'm going to die now, get some water for me. And you tell him, I love you a lot. If you love me, go and get me some water. I need water. So the point is, what does love mean? Love means service. Like a mother loves the child, the mother will serve the child over time also. So if you love someone, you will do service. So if you love God, naturally you will perform the process of Bhakti Yoga. So we cleared certain misconceptions. Now we are coming to the conclusive section, the conclusive part of this session. How do I practice Bhakti Yoga in family daily life? Till now we saw why to practice, what are the various misconceptions and all that. Now how do I actually do it? How do you break this down to my day-to-day practice? So these are the action principles in our life. 5 things. If a person is diseased, if a person is sick, for him to get free from disease, he has to do 5 steps. First is, he has to accept that he is sick. Second is, he has to go to the right hospital. Third is, in that hospital, he has to approach a right doctor. Fourth, the doctor will tell you certain things to avoid. And fifth, the doctor will tell you positive things to apply, the positive treatment. You do these 5 steps, you will get cured of disease. Similarly, we are all spiritually sick. This material world is like a hospital. Who comes here? Who comes to a hospital? Diseased guys go to a hospital. So similarly, healthy people are outside the hospital, right? Like, or we gave the example of prison house. Those who have done something wrong, they are inside. The others are outside. So we are like that people in the hospital. We are like diseased state. Now we want to recover, get a treatment and go back to normal, healthy life in the spiritual world. So what we should do is 5 things. Just like a diseased person follows 5 steps, he gets cured. Similarly, to get rid of spiritual sickness, 5 steps. Step 1 is accept that one is sick. What does it mean? This is a very important step. What does it mean? Means until you accept honestly that I am suffering, I am miserable, until you honestly accept it, digest it, however bitter the pill may be, you will not feel the need to take to spiritual life. The need will never come. Who can appreciate food? Someone who is hungry can appreciate food. So in order to appreciate spiritual life, that spiritual hunger, that thirst should be there. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna tried to solve his whole problem on his own. He couldn't. He fell at the feet of Krishna and said, Krishna, I just can't sort my life on my own. You please help me. He came with that desperation. And then Krishna's message of Gita, he could soak in like a sponge. Right? Because he was really eager for it. So this step is very important to understand that we are sick, we are suffering. We often give this story. One time in a village, there was a circus that came in a village. And the circus was advertised as 50 paisa circus. Everywhere, like boards, everywhere, 50 paisa circus, 50 paisa circus. Say like 100 years ago in India, the only entertainment is if a circus comes to your village. And there was no movie theaters and all this. So all the villagers were super excited. 50 paisa circus, whole village came out to see the circus. So when they were entering into this circus, there was a ticket counter, you have to buy tickets. So this ticket counter guy told them, this is a special circus. Only one person can go at a time. Everyone will not go together. Only one person at a time. Okay? Probably very, very special circus. So the first guy enters in. And when he enters in, what does he see? He sees huge tambu or huge pandal, one ring inside, and there's one very strong wrestler. He tells him, come inside. This fellow goes in and the wrestler beats him left, right, center and kicks him, tells him, get out. 50 paisa circus you came to see. So this fellow is like in a shock. What happened? He thought probably I saw this guy in a different way. He got angry on me. So now the whole village is waiting outside. What will he go and tell? So he puts his dress proper, he combs his hair and he comes out. And people are asking him, how was the circus? He says, first class. Go and see it. Now the second guy comes in. He has already heard circus is first class. So he comes in, same thing happens to him. Beaten left, right, center, blue and black. And he's kicked out. This fellow is all about confused. First guy saw the circus. He liked it. It was good for him. Probably it messed for me. So he comes out, puts his dress proper, and people are asking, how was the circus? First class, go and watch it. In this way, everyone in the village is beaten left, right, center. But each person is telling the other what? First class circus. No one is ready to admit that I was beaten royally. I didn't go to see the circus. I was only the circus. So why we are telling you this? So when people ask us, how are you? We always say, I am fine. But in our heart of heart, we know, I am not fine. I am not fine. I am suffering. Right? Is there anyone who's not suffering? Everyone is going through the suffering. So the first step to take to spiritual life is honest admittance that I am suffering. I need help. I am helpless. I am desperate. That need, that hunger is the first step that will push us to become more serious students of spiritual life. This is step one. Accept that one is sick. Just like when someone is sick, you have symptoms, right? Like COVID had certain symptoms, your taste goes away. Now we have all discussed that we are materially, spiritually sick. What are the symptoms of our disease, spiritual sickness? 4 problems and 3 miseries. What are the symptoms of a material disease? That we are sick in this world. Birth, old age, disease, death. Adhyatmik, adhibautik, adhidevik klesh. The point that we are going through the suffering, that means we are diseased people. We are not in our healthy spiritual state. Got it? This step 1, accept that one is sick. Step 2, you go to a right hospital. So here in our connotation, what does right hospital means? It means a temple. Temples are actually supposed to be like hospitals, where you get cured of your material mentality, your attachments in this world, all your anarthas, you get cured of it. It's a treatment program. So this place may not look like a temple, but it's actually like a temple. It's functioning temple. So there may be a structural temple and there may be a functional temple, right? You may have a structural temple, but it's not functioning as a temple. The function of a temple is that there should be treatment, spiritual treatment that is given there to cure people. So temple is like a hospital. So we have to approach the right hospital. Temple is also like a university. Just like I've been discussing, we go to college, school, first standard, second standard, gradually we get our education. But when it comes to spiritual life, we just hear here and there, some bits and pieces here and there when we feel that we know everything. I myself will give a pravachan. Now we are in a different level altogether. Temples are like universities where education is given. Systematic classes are held, people are being educated. Why is the younger generation going away from spiritual life? Because that systematic education is not given. The younger generation who are like scientifically minded, if you don't explain to them in a scientific way why you have to do what you have to do, they will never do it. If you just tell them do this because I've been doing it, they will never do it. You have to present things systematically. You have to answer their questions. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, 2 most important books are all based on question answers. Arjuna kept asking questions till he was convinced and Lord Krishna kept answering. So questions have to be asked and questions have to be answered. Only when questions are answered, your conviction levels will go higher and then you will take up spiritual life more seriously. So temple is like a university where systematic education is given on God and spirituality. Temple is like a battery charger or probably a mobile charger. Right? My mobile is already on a power bank now. So every day when we get up in the morning, what do we look for? A mobile charger, na? How many of you do it? At least I do it, right? Without that mobile charger, you can't function, you become very helpless. So we all look for the mobile charger. Why do we have to charge a mobile every day? Why do we charge a mobile every day? because the battery gets drained off every day. Similarly, all of y'all, we said temple is like a battery charger or a mobile charger. Now, this is day 6 of our Journey of Self-Discovery course. I mean, whether you all believe it or not, accept it or not, you all have been sitting here, coming here for like 6 consecutive days. That itself is like a big thing. You all have to given some award or something, right? So day 6 of this Journey of Self-Discovery course. All of you all are feeling inspired, a little charged up, right? But I'll tell you what will happen from tomorrow. Gradually, the spiritual battery inspiration, the charge will go down. Not from tomorrow. As soon as you go out of this program, after you have prasad and go out, gradually it will wither away. All other attractions, so many things will come. When your battery, mobile battery gets discharged, what do? You run for the charger. So similarly, we are getting inspiration charged up in a satsang like this. Now what we have to do? When you all will come back to the next satsang after 1 year? So therefore, our proposal to all of you all is, we are planning to have like a weekly satsang for all of you all. Once a week, probably on a Monday. If you all want to remain spiritually inspired like the way you all are now, continue that inspiration level, that battery level, very important that at least once a week you come to recharge your spiritual batteries. If you don't do it, then it will just die off. The whole inspiration will die off. So it's very important, my earnest appeal to all of you all, please try to come to our regular weekly programs. You have like 7 days completely for you, and even in that 7 days, so many hours for you. In a week, 1.5 hours for God. And it's not even for God, it's only for you only, it's for our own benefit. Is it possible? How many of you all can come weekly once to these programs? Please try. Please try. It will help you a lot. See, anything done consistently only has a benefit. I'll give you an example. If you have gone to any waterfall, you might have seen the water regularly falling has created a hole in a rock. Have you ever seen it? Now tell me one thing. Water is so soft, rock is so hard. How can water create a hole in a rock? It's impossible. But it's possible because consistency. The water keeps falling daily, day in, day out. It can create a hole in a rock. So there is a lot of power in consistency. When we consistently come for a program, you will see a lot of transformation happening. The Gita, Bhagavad, the process of bhakti is super powerful. But you have to be a little consistent with it. You have to give it some time. So temple is like a mobile charger, battery charger. Being connected to these satsangs is crucial. It's crucial for our own spiritual well-being. It was written in a church. Outside a church, there was a board. What is missing from the church? What was missing there? The word you are. So the purpose of a church or a temple is people. People should be there, right? Otherwise, deities, everything is nice, but people should come and take benefit, right? In today's scenario, in older times now, like 100 years ago in India, every house had a flag. In every house there'd be a janda. What the janda would say, there'd be a flag of Hanumanji, some flag that would tell that this house belongs to God. Yeah, all people in this house are like devotees of God. They have some purpose. In today's scenario, this is the flag in everyone's house. Antennas. And who is the God? This fellow. TV. Central place this guy is taken. Right? And all family members are doing Jai Jagadish Hare. Day and night worshipping the TV. TV is called what? Idiot box. Right? If you want too much TV, will become idiots. Right? Better is to come to satsang and make a temple a home. So the whole idea is, when we come to satsangs like this, when you go to a temple, we learn how to put God in the center of our life. Right now, we are in the center. Our whole life revolves around me, my enjoyment, my this, my that. Ideally, we should be able to put God in the center and revolve around Him. That's the ideal mode. Turning our home into a temple. So when you come to a temple, ideally you have to be inspired from that mood of that temple so that you can actually make your home also into a temple. In Sanskrit, grahasthas, even their where they stay is also called an ashram. You have brahmacharya ashram and grahastha ashram. What does ashram mean? Where everyone is taking ashray of God. That's the whole idea. So that is the second point. First is to accept one is sick. Second is to go to a right hospital, which is like a temple coming for satsangs like this. The third is, when you go to a right hospital, why do you go? To meet the right doctor. Do you go to a hospital to take a selfie and come? Right? Many people do that. Right? Many people go to a temple only to take selfie and come. Right? So temple is not a selfie point. That can be one part of it. We can't say no, then no one will come only. You do that part, but the whole idea is you go to a temple just like you go to a hospital to meet the doctor. Similarly, you go to a temple to meet a right sadhu. You to meet a saint and discuss something with him spiritually so that you elevate yourself. Now, a doctor. Who is a doctor? Anyone wearing white dress, a stethoscope, is he a doctor? Not necessarily. You may have quacks also doing it. Who is a doctor? A doctor is one who has learned from a proper school, a proper college. He has a proper degree. He has a proper experience. He has treated people. He takes the treatment himself. He follows certain things. Such a person is a doctor. Similarly, who is a guru? If a temple is like a hospital, the sadhus, those saints or those devotees who are there in the temple, they are like gurus. They are helping us in this path. They are like doctors basically, spiritual doctors. So what is the qualification of a spiritual doctor? Anyone who's giving knowledge. First and most important is, he should be in parampara. Just wearing saffron dress doesn't make you a guru. Just having a beard and this fellow looks like a guru. That's not the way. Who is a guru? A Siksha Guru or anyone is one who is coming in parampara. What does parampara mean? Parampara means right spiritual school of learning. Right spiritual school of learning. If you all see our Bhagavad Gita, Smitesh, can you remove a copy of Gita from there? If you all see the parampara that we follow in ISKCON, there is something called a Guru Shishya Parampara. What is Guru Shishya Parampara? Thank you. Guru Shishya Parampara is, you have learned something from your Guru. Your Guru has learned something from his Guru. His Guru has learned something from his Guru. Like this, if you can trace back to Krishna, that Supreme Lord, then your parampara is correct. If it is broken somewhere, the parampara has no value. Just like for this socket to give current, it has to be connected pole by pole, substation by substation to a powerhouse. If there is any breakage anywhere, this will look like a socket that will give you electricity. It will not give you electricity. Understanding? So it may look like that, but it doesn't have any power. But because it's not connected, there is a disconnection. Similarly, for a guru to be a guru, he just doesn't look like a guru. He has to be connected to that source. And this is called Guru Shishya Parampara. If you all see our Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada has given something called the disciplic succession. This is what is the disciplic succession of ISKCON. So if you see this, our Sampradaya is called the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, technically. So Lord Krishna gives this knowledge to Brahma, the knowledge of spirituality, the science of bhakti. Brahma gives it to Narada. Narad Muni gives it to Vyasdev. Vyasdev gives it to Madhvacharya. Then Padmanabh, Narahari, Madhava, Akshobhya. These are all living personalities who came at certain points in time. And then Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, Narottam, Vishwanath, Bhakti Vinod, Gaur Kishore Das, Bhakti Siddhanta, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, Prabhupada has called this Bhagavad Gita as Bhagavad Gita as it is. Not Bhagavad Gita as he thinks it to be. Bhagavad Gita as it is means what Krishna has conveyed. Why? Because What Krishna wanted to convey, he has conveyed to Brahma. It's come down in a parampara. What Srila Prabhupada is speaking is not his understanding is there, but he is very loyal to the parampara. He is just repeating what he has heard from his guru. Srila Prabhupada would give an example. Who is a guru? Simple. A guru is like a postal peon. What does a postal peon do? He will take someone's message, go and give it to someone. His message, he will bring it back. He will not open the letter, add something, minus something. No. Just deliver. Bus. That's it. You are the via medium between two people. So Guru, the message of the living entity and God, he connects. His role is to convey the message of God as it is. No addition, no subtraction. Therefore, this Bhagavad Gita is not the only Bhagavad Gita in the market. There are n number of Gitas. Hundreds and thousands of guys have written their own Gitas. But no other Gita has brought about transformation in people. This is the only Gita, when people read this, there is transformation in the hearts of people. And you can see this. People around the world are taking to Krishna Bhakti so seriously. People who are following this Bhagavad Gita, they're giving up all their wrong habits. Someone who's an American, someone who's an European, someone who's a Chinese, a Japanese, for them it's normal to eat meat, drink, do all nonsense. It's a normal thing for them. It's part of their culture. It's not Indian culture. In the Western culture, it's normal for them. But for such people to give all that up, to live a very pure life, to have tilak, to wear kanti, to wear dhoti kurta, is not ordinary. It's not anything less than a miracle. And this Srila Prabhupada could do because this Bhagavad Gita conveys the message that Krishna is conveying to Arjuna. So when we read the Gita, the same transformation that Arjuna got, we can experience it because Srila Prabhupada is not acting, he's not coming in between Krishna's message. He's just like a transparent glass who's conveying as it is, who's just transmitting as it is. So it's very important that we hear from someone who's in a parampara, who's in a proper Guru Shishya parampara. Is it okay? Till anyone has any questions, any comments? I have 2 more points to do. Anyone has any questions, any comments till here? Okay, can we go ahead? After that, we can open it up for question and answers. That was the third step, approaching the right doctor. Now, when you approach the right doctor, ideally, the doctor will tell you avoid certain things. Like you go to a doctor and you're like completely sick, feverish, cold, and the doctor tells you keep eating ice cream. How will the treatment work? You have to follow a certain patya. That's what they call it in Ayurveda. Certain diet restrictions. Certain restrictions until you become normal. On one end you're taking medicine, and the other end you're doing the same thing that is aggravating the disease. How is it going to work? So you avoid certain things. What do you avoid? You avoid what is not favorable. Simple. This doesn't apply only to bhakti, it applies in every aspect. Now, if a student wants to study well and do very well in his exams, what he should avoid? That doesn't help him, that is not favorable to his studies. Can you give any example? What he should avoid? Should he avoid something or not?
Avoid wasting time.
Avoid wasting time. What else?
Focus.
Avoid mobile phones. Students don't like it. Avoid mobile phones. What else? You should avoid company of friends who are distracting. Yes or no? If you have friends who tell you hell with studies, forget. Our business is to enjoy. You're there with such friends, you're going to fail, sure. They are also going to fail, you're also going to fail. You have to avoid certain things. Like someone who wants to build muscles, does he follow a certain diet that is favorable? He has to follow. He will also eat certain things. He will not eat certain things. He will follow. So similarly, to progress in bhakti, what is not favorable, you try to avoid. So what is not favorable? Scriptures explain that dharma stands on 4 pillars, 4 legs. The Bhagavatam first canto says 4 pillars of dharma. If you follow these 4 things, dharma is proper, your spiritual life is intact. The first pillar is purity. You have to become pure to practice spiritual life. Already our heart is impure. Now if we add more impurity, how will we practice spiritual life? Very difficult. So follow a certain level of purity. And what destroys purity is illicit affairs with the opposite sex, pornography, and watching all these things disturbs the mind completely. So this is the first principle that we try to follow. No illicit connections. Second pillar of dharma is compassion, daya. Right? Very important pillar. Because we are practicing spiritual life hoping to get some compassion from God. Bhagwan thoda kripa karo. But then it's also important that we are compassionate on others. So therefore, living a non-violent life in terms of words, in terms of actions, and also in terms of diet. So therefore, we highly recommend people to follow a vegetarian diet, because a non-vegetarian diet is against the principle of daya. For our own tongue to kill someone else, kill some other animal is absolutely not right. Right? So this is the second principle, no meat eating. The third principle is the principle of austerity, tapasya. Right? And what destroys tapasya is intoxication. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, all these things, it destroys the principle of tapasya. So this is the third principle that we follow, no intoxication of any sort. And the fourth pillar of dharma is truthfulness, satya. And what destroys satya is gambling. So this is the fourth principle that we have, no gambling. No illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. When you follow these four things, there is a basic level of purity, sanity. And on that, the foundation of the right treatment can be applied. See, these are the four things that we try to avoid. Now, we are coming to the final conclusive 5-10 minutes of the session. Very, very important. Very, very important. How to apply the positive treatment. See, these four things, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, may still take some time, because everyone has their own conditioning, own habits. It may take some time. But if we start to apply this fifth point, apply the treatment well, gradually those things will slowly fade away. Right? What is the treatment? 4 things. First is called A. A means association, satsang. Very, very crucial part of spiritual life. So this is like we are coming to the essence of the whole Gita class, the whole course. Right? These 4 things, please try to understand. So what you have to do in your daily life, in your family life, 4 things, bas. We are not even asking the 5th thing. 4 ही करना. ये 4 करेंगे तो आप चक्का मारेंगे, सब हो जाएगा. Everything will happen. Just follow these 4 things. First is association, satsang. साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र कहे, लव मात्र साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि होए. All the scriptures mention one thing, sadhu sang, satsang. Right? Everyone who has become a devotee, even the great souls, have become devotees because of association of some saint. No one was born a devotee. Like I was telling you the story of Prahlad. How did Prahlad become a devotee? How did he become a devotee? From whom? Narad Muni. From Narad Muni. So Narad Muni came in the life of Prahlad, he got bhakti. How did Narada become a devotee? The first canto of Bhagavatam, Narad Muni tells the story. In his previous life, he was a son of a maid servant. And some sadhus came to meet him. Probably from Monday we will start our Bhagavatam series. We'll see, we'll announce that now. So he got association of some sadhus. And in their association, he got the seed of bhakti and he became very serious and he got the body of Narada. Any devotee who has become a devotee, who has become a saint, is always in the association of a saint. So satsang is very crucial. They say we are not good, we are not bad. We are all products of our association. In English they say, you don't tell me who you are. Tell me who your five most closest people are. I will tell you who you are. You are the average of whom you associate with. Your consciousness is only dependent on the consciousness of people around you. So satsang is crucial. So again, coming back to the point that Srila Prabhupada made this society, because none of us can practice bhakti alone at home. The illusory power, the maya, the distractions are so much very difficult to practice bhakti alone. You need a group to help you. You need a group to support you. Right? So Prabhupada created ISKCON as a society where each one can help each other grow in spiritual life. Is there any place in this world where people help each other grow in spiritual life? You may have societies that help you grow in money, grow in this, grow in that. But where is a society that helps you grow in spiritual life, become more and more closer to God, lover of God? This is why Srila Prabhupada created the society. So association is the key. Right? In Latin American, they have an example that they give, an analogy. Very beautiful analogy. They say that in our hearts, there are two dogs. One good dog, this looks like a good dog. Our Smitesh has one dog. It's still outside? That is a good dog. So you have a good dog and then you have a bad dog. Very dangerous guy. So in all our hearts, there are two dogs. Good dog and bad dog. So this is Smitesh's dog. So you have a good dog and bad dog. And you know what these two dogs are doing? Both these dogs are fighting with each other. Good dog, bad dog fighting with each other. Have you all experienced this? Good and bad fighting. Have you all experienced? You all will experience this after hearing this more. Right? Good and bad. Daiva Asura Sangraha. Good and bad fighting. So in all our hearts, the good and bad is fighting with each other. Now, good dog, bad dog, both are fighting with each other. Which dog will win? Bad. Which dog will win? What do you all think? How many of you feel good will win? Please raise your hands. How many of you feel bad will win? Please raise your hands. Okay. What do the others think? So the answer is, the dog that is the strongest will win. Simple. Again, the dog that is strongest will win. If the bad dog is very strong, that guy is going to win. If the good dog is strong, it is going to win. जिसने खाया पिया मोटा हुआ है वही जीतेगा. So simple. That means what? In our heart, good and bad both are fighting. Who will win? Depends on what we have fed the most. When we come to satsang, the good dog is getting fed. The good qualities are getting fed, and slowly the bad dog will start to lose. But if you don't come to satsang, there is no chance that the good dog is going to win. That desire may be there, but it will never happen. Satsang is what is feeding the good dog, the good qualities. So satsang is crucial. Very, very, very crucial. So as I told you, we for this group, we already have a batch, but we are trying to connect this batch to that. Every Monday, we are trying to have like around the same time, 7 to 9, a satsang for this group. Our desire is that we will do a systematic presentation on Bhagavatam. Right? We'll present Srimad Bhagavatam in a very systematic way. You'll be able to connect to what's being spoken in these messages. So the way we present is, we make things very practical, very understandable, and also you all will be able to connect to these books. Many times these books look too big. Many people open it, they are not able to understand anything. But in these satsangs, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam will be something more approachable for you all. You all will be able to connect to it, you all will be able to understand it. That's what we will help you all do. So please do come for our regular satsangs that we will do on Monday also, that we will continue weekly once. That is A for association. In childhood we have heard A for apple and all that. So now we are relearning everything. A for association. Good. This is also good dog. B is for books. B for what? Books. What books? History, geography, which books? Those books are good. But here we refer to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Interestingly, that is also with B. So you can say B for Bhagavad Gita, B for Bhagavatam. These books are most important to us. Very, very important. Right? Arjuna had his own challenge, his own Kurukshetra war. We have our own Kurukshetra war. Big or small, we all have our own struggles. If Arjuna didn't hear Gita, he would never become successful. So books are what is going to help us. That will sharpen us. One time, someone asked Abraham Lincoln, one of the presidents of US, if I give you 1 hour to cut a tree, what you will do? He said, first 45 minutes I will sharpen the axe, and then 15 minutes I will cut the tree. So reading books may appear that it's a waste of time. Why to read Gita? Why to read Bhagavatam? I could be doing so many other things. But Gita Bhagavatam will sharpen your intelligence. Not only spiritual life, you will be able to make your material decisions also quicker, more effectively. You have to do it very, very fast. Your intelligence will become very sharp. You have students who are reading their books, but their minds are everywhere. They are not able to read. You are spending 2 hours, but you are not able to understand anything because you are not focused. So Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam will not only help us focus in spiritual life, it will help us in our material life in many ways. We will be able to reject options that are wasteful, that are useless. We will be able to utilize our time, our human energy very, very effectively. So every day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, reading Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam will make a big difference. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. But that time, read properly. Read properly. Right? Try to read line by line, word by word, in a very prayerful way, in a very sincere way. You will see Krishna helping you. These books are not just books. It is Krishna in the form of a book. So Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam people worship because this is Krishna in the form of book. So when we read this, we are actually hearing from Krishna only. Not indirectly, directly hearing from Krishna. So reading books on a regular basis is must. C refers to chanting. C for chanting. Right? We will, at the end, we will teach you all how to chant also. So we have a mala in which there are 108 beads. And we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just like a child who's in the womb gets nourishment from the mother, umbilical cord. Similarly, chanting is like the connection to our Supreme Father, Mother. Krishna is God, Father. Hare refers to Radharani, Mother. So we're connecting to our Father and Mother to experience that security, that support, that hope. Right? In life, many times we go through so many situations. We can't take help even from our family members, friends. We just don't know whom to connect to. But when we take up to chanting well, we can experience the connection with Krishna very strongly. Today is Ananta Chaturdashi. Today in our Sampradaya, one of our great acharyas, his name was Haridas Thakur 500 years ago. Today is his disappearance day. Today is the day he left this world. Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. This is a real story 500 years ago. In a place called Bangladesh he was born. But from his childhood he was naturally attracted to Krishna. Because as I told you, Krishna is attractive. Krishna can attract anyone and everyone. Right? So Haridas Thakur, right from the beginning, day and night he would chant. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra on beads, Haridas Thakur would chant 192 rounds every day. 192 rounds, if you calculate, one round takes you 5 to 10 minutes. 192 rounds means literally 24 hours he would chant. He would hardly eat, hardly sleep. And Haridas Thakur did this till the end of his life. And at the end of his life, on today's day, on his disappearance day, he actually left in association of devotees and went back to the spiritual world. You have the example of Tukaram Maharaj. Have you all heard the life of Tukaram Maharaj? Same period almost. Tukaram Maharaj was almost 450 years ago. Very close by Dehu. Tukaram Maharaj was a grahastha. He had a family, he had children, he had all this. But Tukaram Maharaj, along with all his duties, he would regularly chant the holy names of God. Spend a lot of time chanting on Ekadashis. He would spend a lot of time. And at the end of his life, Vaikuntha Viman comes, the airplane from the spiritual world, and Tukaram ascends to the spiritual world. So these are not mythological stories, these are real stories to tell us that if you want to get out of the cycle of birth and death, if you want to go to Krishna, the only process in Kali Yuga is chanting Hare Krishna. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatir Anyata. In this age of Kali, in this Kali Yuga, there is no other way to gain God, to attain God. Only one way, no second way. Only one way, that is chanting. Iti Shodashaka Nam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam Nata Paratara Upaya Sarva Vedesha Dushyate. This Mahamantra, you may say, why is ISKCON people chanting this Mahamantra? Because there is one Upanishad called Kali Santaran Upanishad. There are total 108 Upanishads. One of that Upanishad is called Kali Santaran Upanishad. In this Upanishad, Narad Muni goes to Brahma. Narad is also a big authority, Brahma is a big authority. Narad Muni goes to Brahma and tells him, he's asking him, Kali Yuga is going to start and people in Kali Yuga are going to go through a lot of problems. How will people of Kali Yuga get delivered? There Brahmaji gives this Mahamantra. And he tells him, this Mahamantra, Iti Shodashaka Namna, Kali Kalmashanashanam, Nata Paratara Upaya, Sarva Vedesha Dushyate. This chanting can destroy all anarthas of Kali Yuga, all the impurities in the heart. There is no other way, because this is the essence, this is the mentioned in all the Vedic literatures. Srila Prabhupada started ISKCON way back in 1965-66, and the way Srila Prabhupada started was Prabhupada went to New York, and with these boys and girls, American boys and girls, Prabhupada would sit and chant Hare Krishna with them. Prabhupada gave them mala. Prabhupada told them, go and chant. Just by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all their hearts became pure. They became pure. Because chanting is like an internal cleanse. It will clean our heart regularly. So therefore, continuously, regularly, chanting is very important. We will also pass malas and give you all the experience of chanting. So our suggestion to all of you all is at least one round. It will take you 5 to 10 minutes. At least one round you try to chant. Do it as a trial. Try for a month or two. Try for a month or two. If it doesn't work out, give it up. Right? Try for a month or two. And the best part is you don't have to pay anything also. It's very simple. It's not that you're playing crores of rupees or anything. There's no loss at all. Just try for a month or two. It works. It's great. There are so many people who have tried this and it's really worked for them. Because the names of God are not different than God. So chanting is something that is very crucial. C for chanting. And then D, all of us love this, right? D is prasad. So you'll be thinking, Prabhuji, when is the class going to end? And when is this actually going to come in front of me? Right? So D is prasad. Everyone loves prasad. Whether you love philosophy or not, chanting or not, prasad is something that everyone connects to. You don't need too many discourses on it, right? Srila Prabhupada, when he started ISKCON, way back, in New York, Prabhupada would do a program. Boys and girls would come, Prabhupada would do kirtan, he would do a little talk on Gita. And at the end, Prabhupada would have a jar filled with gulab jamuns. And he would tell the boys and girls, eat as much as you want. And these people really loved it. But they didn't know that these gulab jamuns are loaded gulab jamuns. What does loaded mean? It is loaded with bhakti. Just by eating those gulab jamuns, something happened in their life. Right? So that means prasad of God, when something is offered to God, there is a lot of power in that prasad. Food that is offered to God is not ordinary food. Just like when you offer flower to God, that flower doesn't become ordinary anymore. You respect that flower also. Similarly, when food is offered to God, cooked with devotion, offered with devotion, that food becomes spiritual. It's not material. By eating such prasad on a regular basis, there is transformation of the heart. One time we can have a class exclusively on the power of prasadam. So prasad is also something that is very, very important. So in our own homes, if you can cook a very sattvic diet, have a picture of Krishna, offer it to Krishna with tulsi and have that, there can be a lot of benefit. So if you can follow these 4 things, we are applying the treatment. Direct action. A, B, C, D. Bus. There is no E, F also. A, B, C, D. A is for association. B is for books. C is for chanting. D is for diet. Of all the 4, most important is A. Because if A is there, B will also be there, C will also be there. If you come regularly to satsang, chanting will happen, reading will happen. If you don't come to satsang, what you are chanting also will get stopped. That inspiration levels will go away. So A is crucial. A is crucial. So please think about it. We are going to have these programs weekly on Mondays here. So if you all can come for these programs, it will be wonderful. So in essence, we saw what is yoga, what is akarma, the process of connecting with God. We saw Bhakti Yoga is very practical, easy, it's a recommendation of Krishna. We saw certain misconceptions of Bhakti Yoga. And then we saw 5-step action. Accept that you're sick, approach the right temple, the right hospital, approach the right guru, avoid certain things and apply the treatment. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Anyone has any questions, any comments? Yes.
Krishna says that you have to do your duties or whatever work and not get associated with the result. But is it relevant in today's world? Whenever we do something, we always look for some sort of result. We want a result, that's why we do something. So, how do we do that?
Yeah. Good question. So she's saying that Krishna says, do your work but don't expect result. Don't be attached to result. How is it possible? So if someone tells you, please come tomorrow sincerely to job, work very hard but don't expect salary. I don't know who's going to do it. That's what Krishna is trying to mean, but that's not what is Krishna trying to mean. What it means is, you do your best, but then you depend on Krishna for the result. Because anyway the result is not in your hands. So what is not in your hands, why bother about it? So you do your best and leave what is Krishna's role, leave it to Krishna. So offering, not being attached to result means you are offering your results to Krishna. Right? Whatever comes, whatever Krishna's desire. So this is the process of bhakti. Krishna, if you want, you give me results. If you don't want, you don't give me results. Because you know what is better to me than I know. Right? A father knows more than the son. So Krishna knows what is good for me. So we are dependent on Krishna. That's what it means. You'll get rid from a lot of anxiety if you understand this. Okay. Anyone else has any other questions? Any other comment? Yeah, please.
Yes. You mentioned we have this cycle where in previous lives you could have many karmas which are negative or positive. And then you have to balance it out before we reach the spiritual world. With bhakti, do we balance that out? Or is it that you have to face each even and then?
Good question. So, what's your good name?
Vedant. Vedant.
Vedant?
Yes.
Vedant?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You know what's the meaning of Vedant? I'll tell you what's the meaning of Vedant.
No.
Huh?
The understanding of Vedant.
Yeah. Ant means end, conclusion. Vedanta means the conclusion of Vedas. And what is the conclusion of Vedas? Bhakti. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he is called A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. So the conclusion of Vedas, Vedanta is Bhakti. Bhakti is the conclusion of all the Vedas. So in one sense, your name means Bhakti. Good. So his question, Vedant's question is that can Bhakti Yoga, completely square off our good and bad karma? If so, then do we have to suffer? Do we have to enjoy? That's the whole idea of Bhakti Yoga. The conclusive verse of Gita, Gita is like 700 verses, 18 chapters. The conclusive verse of Gita, Lord Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami masucha. Lord Krishna says, if someone surrenders to me, surrendering to Krishna means Bhakti Yoga, full-heartedly. Sarva dharman parityajya. You have full faith in Krishna and you surrender to Krishna through the process of Bhakti. Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami. I will free you from all reactions. Ma suchaha. Ma sucha means do not fear. You come to the right place, do not fear. Whatever you have done in the past, forget it. Sin no more, forget whatever is done in the past, Krishna will take care. That's the reason we surrender to Krishna. Because Krishna is the one who is the master of all this karma and all this, surrender to Krishna, then everything taken care. Thank you. Yes. One last question. Anyone else has? Yes.
Guruji, as you said, we are following the Gaudiya parampara. So there are many paramparas. There is Sri parampara, Rudra parampara, and I think Nimbark parampara. So they are also following the same Guru Shishya parampara. So what is the difference?
Yeah, good question. So technically there are like 4 proper Vaishnava paramparas. One is called Shri Sampradaya, one is called Brahma Sampradaya, one is called Rudra Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya. Brahma Sampradaya is Krishna giving the knowledge through Brahma, and then what comes down, what ISKCON belongs to. There is Rudra Sampradaya, where Vallabhacharya and the followers of Vallabhacharya come, Vishnu Swami and the followers of Vallabhacharya. And then there is, Rudra Sampradaya is Krishna giving the knowledge to Shiva, and then that knowledge, parampara coming down. Then there is Shri Sampradaya, Lord giving the knowledge to Lakshmi, and from her the Sampradaya comes. In South India you will have Ramanujacharya, right? They are the followers of Shri Sampradaya. And then you have Kumar Sampradaya, Lord giving knowledge to the Chatush Kumar, and then the whole Sampradaya coming down, Nimbarkacharya and all. That Sampradaya is also there. So all 4 are bona fide Sampradayas for sure. So if you have a proper bona fide Sampradaya and things are taught to you properly, you can definitely follow. As I told you, in simple essence, it's this. The place, as I give you this example, the place there which helps you to get more and more connected to God very strongly, that's where you should find your inspiration from. Like I'll tell you my own story. I am basically from South India. I'm born in Sri Sampradaya. We are all like bona fide Vaishnavas in the Sri Sampradaya. So from my childhood, the Sri Sampradaya culture, Vaishnava culture has always been there. But still, I chose to come to this Sampradaya because I was definitely born there, but the strong connections that I got here was never, I never felt it there. It was not taught to me in a systematic way. So I feel more connected here. And because I'm more connected here, our Sri Sampradaya Guru is Ramanujacharya, Kanchipuram and all these places. The love that I have for Ramanuja, Kanchipuram and all these places has all the more grown because of my connection to this movement. So this movement is such a way things are presented so well, so systematically that the culture is so good. When you get connected here, even to your original roots, you'll become more and more strongly connected. So that's the idea. So wherever that teachings of God is imparted in a perfect way, in an understandable way, you're feeling more and more inspired to love God, to go more and more closer to God, that's the path you have to follow. So thank you all very much. I'm very grateful to you all for being present for all the 6 days. Most of you all, I'm seeing that the attendance is like almost like 100%. Most of you all have been there. It shows a lot of sincerity. My earnest prayer is that the journey of self-discovery doesn't end here. The course ends here, but the journey of self-discovery starts from this point. So I hope and pray that you will continue this sincerity, this consistency on and on. It's always easy to have that initial enthusiasm. The first 6 sessions, you can always be a little enthusiastic, but week after week, if you can show that enthusiasm, that means you're really serious. And if you can do that, time will show results. Results will come automatically. It's an almost automatic process, provided you are like regular for the satsangs. Rest, it gets taken care. So my humble request again towards the end that all of you all please consider to come regularly for our Monday programs.